What up? What up? What up? Set in the West. This is Set in the West. I'm Wolfgang Amadeus. Y'all, look, welcome. Let's just get started. You know what I'm saying? Until I see everybody in the chat. Yeah, y'all. Um, my thing is, I normally don't even watch this channel. This channel called Vlad TV. I stopped watching that years ago. I stopped watching it so long ago. I don't even like it doesn't come up on my algorithm, and then when it does, what happens is I just say, do not recommend this channel. I'm not interested. Just because I think a lot of us in hip hop should have already taken the stand and said we're not supporting this guy. And in fact, I think his numbers are not numbering like how they used to. Like, dude, don't even really get like you can put him up there with Adam 22 as well. Don't really get the numbers that he used to. But I think it's because their job, their assignment, thank you, Archangel Michael, their assignment is pretty much has been completed. If everyone knows about these platforms, it's not a hip hop site or channel. It's basically a site where you go and you listen to people confess about crimes that they did in the past. From what I know and what I see, especially now, you got a lot of agents online. And when I say agents, I'm just saying agents of the court, agents of law, all that good stuff, because you got a lot of people who are basically just here to um, set things up, set people off, set people up, set things off, all that. And that's what I've seen. Like, look, Keefe D, he was talking all kind of stuff on the platform, Vlad's platform, and he ended up in a case. He ended up getting a case because of that. That should let y'all know. There's a lot. There's just a lot. I see here where Poetic Flakko. Where is this? Hold on. I'm looking at something right now about Poetic Flakko. He went on back on Fig and said something about LA podcasters should have a Rico coming. I'll play a little bit of this. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think because this says a lot. I saw it and I said, what are you talking about? Got the orange going on. He knows how to trip walk like something like a right. He's tall, handsome, and guess what? He game bang with the orange couch. I don't want an orange couch shoe. So here's what. Let me go ahead and hop on Hoover and get an orange couch one day. So it sounds like he's talking about an influencer, and he said T-Rail. There's an influencer that's from Back on Fig. Now, Back on Fig, I won't say as a off of Adam 22, but they came from Adam 22. They actually broke away, and then boom, they started their own thing. So they have the oranges, the orange couch. If you're from LA, you know oranges is Hoover colors. The Houston Oilers or the whatever they call themselves, the Texans. Are they the Texans now? The orange and the H and that. Yeah, that's some gang stuff. So let's hear what he got to say. So I'm saying the podcast we gotta go to. You sound like AD right now, and I see why you saying that. Don't put me in the mix. AD gotta go too. Man, community. I'm saying this, right? We need a podcast in Rico. You acting like we are sitting in here. I'm not influencing any. No. Do not listen to him. You feel me? No. Do not listen to this young man, man. Listen. He said is Poetic Flakko and well, this is what the title says. Underneath it is Poetic Flakko, a federal informant. And it says he claims podcasters should face RICO charges.
This is on, y'all go check out Back on Fig if y'all haven't heard. I definitely support them. Shout out to them. Shout out to what it is that they do. I'm gonna play a little bit more of what's being said. Shout out to them. Definitely check them out. But this is very interesting.
Listen, man, the gang Rico
I am
enough, bro.
not here.
The gang Rico ain't enough.
Influencing any young man or woman to be a gang member. You feel me? And this is a nice aesthetic. You feel me? This is the 80s style, the orange couches mixed with a wood wall coming off. You know how your parents used to come like that's real like 70s, 80s like fly shit. The man with these people, man.
The podcaster Rico gotta come. No, bro, I'm dead
Podcaster Rico gonna come in.
The podcaster Rico gotta come. And I guess he's saying that because these podcasters are influencing kids to become gang members. Is that what he's saying?
He's gonna be a part of it, bro. You feel me? That's why he talking about this, because he got some of that. He got some of the millions. You feel me? And he one of the snitches that's right here doing that right now. You're part of the problem, bro. You're part of the problem. You didn't snitch before, bro. You didn't snitch before. That's crazy, bro.
Like they like exposed me already though. So like
they exposed them already.
Yeah, but like they already like
you might as well just go on like really embody it. You know what I'm saying? Being a snitch. Like embody it, like get on there, like I'm gonna tell on you, and you, man.
Wow. Very interesting because the Whack 100 guy who is on at No Jumper as well. I think he said he was implying something about Poetic Flakko, you know.
You just might as well just be the sophisticated Charleston White of this shit.
You know, I think only in gangland but terms like station don't even exist in the real world, bro. Who is using like bro, those terms don't even exist in the real world, bro. Who is using the term snitching in real life?
So snitching doesn't apply in real life or something, or it doesn't apply in the real world. He's saying it's basically some street stuff. Okay, all right.
That's why I say. That's why I'm playing around. And I'm like, no, yeah, we need the snitches. Like nobody don't even give a about that shit.
Using that term in real life. Well,
nobody cares.
Bro, listen, bro. Following a report, like, bro, that's not snitching, bro. That's just you just following a report, right? But people in this world here, bro, which is why, bro, like, I'll say this, bro. It has gotten to a point where, gangbanging has been so watered down that, people outside of this look at gangbangers as like the local retards.
Wow. Well, I mean, we call them knuckle draggers. He's not lying, but he said gangbanging has come so far. Or first off, if you're in the streets, I mean, I feel for you. They just talked about, speaking on Back on Fig, they talked about Figueroa and the crackdowns that they're doing on Fig. We talked about this some months ago where they were going after the pimps and the people that were, doing a lot of the traffic to the, now they're going after the customers. And they said, I guess the solicitation side of it is not going to be it's going to be a felony. And they got cameras all up and down Fig now. So it's because of the Olympics. The Olympics is coming. They basically they're going to do a lot of crackdown. But yeah, Mikea, gang banging, it ain't gang banging no more. They say it's watered down. If you a real gangster, you're not online. That's for sure. If you've done stuff, you're not online. I know that for a fact. That just these people be on here capping. Like, even what he said, yeah, it's watered down. That is true. The whole thing is just dumb. And he said, yeah, the local gang members like I ain't saying that word, but
The podcast to me has the most influence. These things that we got to target, right? Like, for example, who's a podcast that has a lot of influence?
That's a gangbanger?
No,
gang member?
No, just the podcast in Los Angeles that has a lot of influence.
A podcaster here in Los Angeles that has a lot of influence?
Yeah. T-Rail.
Okay, yeah, and so it just went on to the loop. He said we got to go after the podcasters. Well, I'm gonna say it like this: sometimes a lot of these podcasters are putting on a role. That's like going after Sylvester Stallone for unaliving a bunch of people in the movie Rambo, and it was just a movie. So a lot of times this stuff doesn't make sense. People that have done real crimes, though, for sure, they need to be dealt with. That's all I will say. And speaking of, I'm gonna get right to it. Aries Spears. I got paperwork on my computer where Aries Spears did something very heinous, and it was to a child. I believe the child was like 8 or 9 years old at the time. But let me go back and talk about what I was talking about, the situation. Aries Spears went on Vlad, and I kind of don't want to play it because I know how Vlad is, as far as playing his content. Like I'm really not even trying to give him a listen or nothing like that. But he talks about Aries Spears. I'm looking at it right now. He's talking about the Epstein files being released. And Trump, you said Trump was in a bunch of pictures. Did he say anything juicy? There are a bunch of pictures. There were some notes that said, Trump like young girls going to his room, stuff like that. This is what Vlad is saying to Aries Spears. And he said, from what he understand with the photos that were included in the Epstein files with Trump disappeared a week later. And then Aries asks, were the girls legal or no? And he says, well, you see, let me stop because
drugs in.
hold on. Because he mentioned something about Venezuela, but I didn't want to jump to that. But the first thing he asked was
photos that were included in the Epstein files with Trump disappeared about a week later.
So young girls, how legal or
how,
who knows?
How the young girls, how legal? Yeah, why would you? The problem with Aries Spears, and I'm gonna get to it, but the problem with Aries Spears, even asking, were they legal or not? But that's a whole nother combo. Now I'm gonna move forward because this is fair use. I'm just commentating on what I'm hearing. This guy said, listen to this.
Guilty prior to conviction. Hearsay, speculation. That's just what it is. Just because you're there doesn't mean that you are just as guilty as them.
He says that because Vlad mentions there's pictures of Michael Jackson in the Epstein files. There were pictures of Michael Jackson, and it's just Michael Jackson and Epstein. That's it. There was also a picture of Michael Jackson with Diana Ross, and they had some little kids there, and they blurted out the face. And that was, in my opinion, something they did to throw people off because that actual picture was of Michael Jackson and I think Diana Ross's kids. In fact, Evan Ross was one of the kids. So they threw it out there to make it seem like, well, Mike's been on guilty, blah, 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 So yeah, he said, just because it's pictures, but doesn't necessarily make you guilty. I don't know.
Look, this is what I think. The reason why all these celebrities hung out with Epstein is just like everyone else, celebrities like free shit.
Yeah.
So if there's some billionaire that's offering to fly you out to an island on his private jet and do all this fly shit,
top shelf across the board.
Top shelf. Bill Clinton was there. Chris Tucker.
You got Chris Tucker.
I think
you would have been there.
Diana Ross. Yeah. You would have showed up too.
Hell yeah.
I think we all would have.
He said, I would have showed up. Now, hold on. Let me tell y'all something. I didn't work it. I was actually just backstage. There's a very known concert that happened in LA. Rick Ross, Busta Rhymes, I think Nip came out, YG. This is some time ago. This happened some time ago, I believe. I forget what year. And I was backstage with everybody. I damn near got accosted by Dog's people, his security, because I wasn't even trying to go in the Dog's direction. Dude was just like, he elbowed like I'm not trying to go after Dog, but they were protecting the heck out of Dog, Snoop Dogg, if you understand what I'm saying. But everybody's dressing room, trailer room, because my boy had his own trailer and all that red dressing room because he performed. He opened up. Flex, Shanice's husband was the host. And I noticed behind the scenes, you know, there were these certain brands, certain ambassadors for certain companies that would go to each room, and they were like basically like, yeah, you know, we got this company, whoop, do you want to be a part of it? We're gonna give you this. That's part of the game when it comes to the entertainment. They will just they do get a lot of free stuff. That's why I don't find it surprising, like when a lot of these entertainers no longer are famous, they become like kleptos. Shout out to Winona Ryder. People forget about that. I don't. But yeah, they get free stuff all the time. Now, Jeffrey Epstein, they're trying to make this thing seem like it's benign, like it ain't nothing major, like it's like it's nothing. Oh, it's free stuff, blah blah. Like that's how they're framing it. And, you know, if you're getting free stuff, wouldn't you go? Oh yeah, I would have went. All money ain't good money. Just remember that. All money ain't good money. And I say that to say because, dude, again, they're framing it like it's free, like it's something that they're running game. And it's funny that he said that he would go there. And this is today. This is recent. This is not something that he did a few years ago or an interview he did a few years ago. This guy, he's talking about broke people speak a different language.
You know what I mean? So when you can't do it, when you can't afford to do it, it's easier for you to sit back and gossip.
So that's his reason. And it's like, y'all broke. I would have went. Y'all just want to gossip. But I find this disturbing because Aries Spears was involved in a situation. If y'all see the thumbnail, this is what the skit that Aries Spears was a part of. The Mind of a PDFer and Aries Spears PSA. It's a very disgusting skit that he did. And this happened years ago. I have the court records of what happened during this. This was a skit that he did. He looks like the Bill Cosby character, or he looks like a Bill Cosby character. Let me just break down what happened during this skit. And I'm ashamed to say that I saw it because I was just like, and then when I read the court records, I said, wow. Aries Spears does a skit. Tiffany Haddish is the mother, not the mother, but the caretaker of this boy, this young little boy. She brings the young little boy. He just has his underwear on, nothing else. And she said, "Can you watch my kids? I gotta go. Can you watch my kids?" And Aries, like the character Aries, is, "Oh, okay." And Aries is watching the boy, and Aries is looking at him all like lustfully. No, so first off, your brand of comedy, that ain't funny. That ain't funny. Like you're sitting over here literally watering down, just like they talking about watered down gangbanger. You're watering down PDFers or maps. Look up what a map is. Minor attracted person. I think that's what. So this whole skit was about him watching the kid, and he had his newspaper, and he would cut holes in the newspaper to watch the kid. The kid's playing in his underwear. This kid is playing in his underwear the whole time. And Aries Spears' character is looking, peeping like lustfully, and they have like these imaginations of him, and you know, he's bathing the kid. But it wasn't just imagination. They actually did it on the set. He was bathing the kid, and he jumped in the water with the kid and was playing with like, who plays with kids like that? Who plays around with kids like that? Weirdos do. I wouldn't have filmed the skit. I wouldn't have been a part of it. I would have been, man. So I say that to say, just like how he's like, oh, well, you know, I would have went. Yeah, because you are a hoe for money. You will do anything for money. Apparently, this skit that I'm referring to, it ended up on Funny or Die, the website, and that was a PSA. It was like, watch who you keep your kids around. And then there was a lawsuit after that because there was another skit of this little boy who's in the skit, and I'm not trying to trivialize or talk about the victims like that, but the little boy, he was probably like, I don't know, 8 or 9, 7, 8 or 9, in his underwear the whole time. Then they had a skit that I didn't see, but I heard about it. There was a young girl, the little boy's sister, who partook in another skit where it was about a Subway sandwich, and the little girl had to act like she was giving filet, y'all, and the girl was under 15 or something like that. In fact, y'all want me to just pull it up and then I can read it, and maybe I could even show some of it. Put a 1 if y'all want me to really go in, because put a 1 in the chat if y'all want that. Because this is disgusting behavior. This is what Hollywood does. I'm gonna tell y'all, Hollywood, you gotta sacrifice something to get in. So if you're gonna sacrifice your manhood, your womanhood, like Kat says, your bunghole, if you've unalived somebody, if you gotta give something, you gotta sacrifice something. And a lot of these people are so quick to get into Hollywood, and it's like, well, yeah, I'll sacrifice something. They'll do it. Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, I'm okay. Let me pull up the hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up the documents. And I'm gonna see if I could maybe even screenshot it. But y'all take my word for it, because this actually happened. This actually happened. Aries Spears ended up being a part of this lawsuit because the mother, or forget exactly who filed the lawsuit. Aries Spears. Okay. Yo, okay, I think this is it. Is this it? Yep. I got it right here. Y'all want me to screenshot it so y'all can see? Because I can do that. I can screenshot it. But what I'll do is this. I'm going to start doing more members only, and when we hop on the members only, we can go deeper into this, because I think this is very, yeah. I don't want to get on the surface level. I'm just going to talk about it in general. I just know that this was filed in the Superior Court for the County of Los Angeles, and this had to have been, what date do we have here? Let me see, what date? 2022? Yeah, 2022. This was a hella scandal. But the Jane Doe and the John Doe, on behalf of these minors, sued Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. Intentional infliction of emotional distress, gross negligence, negligent supervision, warn, breach of fiduciary duty, constructive fraud, actual battery, actual harassment, actual abuse of a minor. Those are the 8 charges. It's very sad. I gave y'all the rundown of what happened in general, but it gets really, really, detailed as you go through. So the Jane Doe, the girl at the time, was 14, and they said Haddish brought her to a Hollywood studio to film a actually suggested Subway commercial. Haddish brought the plaintiffs to Spears' home, where Spears molested Mr. Doe on film. So I'm just going over the skit in general. The girl was taken to a Hollywood studio. The boy was taken, they said, to Aries Spears' home, but it wasn't Aries Spears' home. I got more details about where it really was. But I'm not going to go there because I'm building a case. I think I had something where I was talking about the Avengers of Lies. And this is a part of the Avengers of Lies. The suit says it was Spears' home because they didn't know exactly where it's at. And there's a whole lot of tie-in that we'll do. That's why I said we'll go members only, and I'll talk more about this because I'll bring on and we can give y'all the timeline of what happened. But overall, it said Mr. Doe was G-roomed, G-roped, molested, and actually assaulted by Spears, who was aided, abetted, and filmed by, I'm not going to say that person's name. Because in all honesty, like I'm not trying to film, none of that. But overall, let's go through the highlights. Tiffany Haddish forces plaintiff Miss Doe to give, can I say that? A fillet, fillet, and then, so all this, they said the summer of 2013. It goes into all the travesty that happened with this case. And this was a real case. And then in the end, when I saw it, and they got pictures of the little kid, like I said, he's just in his underwear. And then they got a picture of Aries Spears peeping through the hole of a newspaper, like spying on the kid. And he's focused on the little boy's butt. And then the little boy leg, like it's disgusting. Look, yeah, the little boy is 7 years old. Very disgusting. I'm gonna just go to the end because in the end, they had testimony from the boy, because the boy is older now. And he says that it affected him emotionally. And, he doesn't know, the little boy didn't know if any of his friends saw this. And he had thought that he was gay, he was embarrassed, and all because of, him participating in the skit. The reason why they got in trouble, I think, is because the kids were like, there were no like waivers. It was a whole lot. Like sometimes people just do skits at the house, and then it's like, oh, we're all adults and we do, when you involve kids though, you can't play like that. You really can't play when including kids in certain film. Like I said, I'm gonna go deep because I'll do the Avengers of Lies as members only. Maybe I'll just do that just so that y'all could, but overall, they included these kids. Tiffany Haddish was included. Because Tiffany brought the kids. They called her Auntie Tiff. How they met, we'll talk about that more in detail. But they took advantage of these kids, and the little boy was so distraught and messed up. It's sad. So for Aries Spears to go on Vlad and say what he said, oh, I would have went. Oh yeah, you probably went. I'm disgusted. I am disgusted. Like, I can't even play around and even say what should happen to these people because there was just a case, there was just a story about a reality TV star who unalived his cellmate because he claimed that the cellmate was a PDFer. So he was, the spirit told him to get rid of him, and he unalived him. You can't even play and say, yeah, they need to all know, because then now they're going to come after you. It's crazy. You get on here and you want to say something righteous, and you got to watch what you say. It's cold. It's cold. He said, bona fide troll. What's up, little man? Your mama wasn't calling me little. That's all I know, if you're talking about me. We'll do that. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the lives, and I'm going to go deep. There was a content creator who touched up on this and talked about this more in detail. And yeah, that was some time ago, and they kind of just buried the situation. The funny thing is I'll just say it like this. there was an investigation going on about the person who filmed it, because the person who brought the kids, Tiffany Haddish, reached out to someone and said, "Yo, I don't even know. I didn't have nothing to do with this. I didn't know this was what was going on," and kind of believe her. And she got wrapped up in this suit, and she, and it just looked bad for her, because Tiffany Haddish was going through other stuff as well. She got DUIs like 2 in 1 year, one on Wilshire Boulevard, like sleep in the car, crazy. One in Atlanta, I believe. There was a lot. They were putting her through the ringer, and then all of a sudden, those cases just disappeared. They went away. I find that very interesting. Rumor has it, well, they ended up settling. I know that for a fact. They ended up settling, meaning they didn't want this case to go, because this was a civil case. This wasn't criminal. This was civil. They didn't want this case to go any further, and they were paid off. The mother or the caretaker was paid off, and allegedly, this is alleged, Diddy has something to do with that payoff too. That's why I say it's heavy, it's deep, and we'll really go deeper into it. But it's like I'm just gonna kind of chill, because I find it funny. You got these people who are true crime investigators online, but they don't go deep, and they don't talk about this type of shit. Yeah, and the person who filmed it just walked away. Not included in the suit or nothing. That's the tie-in. The person who filmed it. How many people would say that person should be liable? Because if somebody came to me and brought a skit, wanted me to edit, and if I ingested into my computer and I saw it, as soon as I see anything like that, that shit up out of here, because I'm cool. I wouldn't even be complicit in any of that. I told y'all the live when me and Classic was, I said, man, I had somebody, I was working with him. I went to school with the dude, and come to find out, he was an old Lester, or he got caught up, basically. I was like, bro, you can't come to my spot no more. And that was that. Like, you gotta stand for something or fall for anything. But that's what Hollywood does, though. They be, and certain people be setting people up. So maybe the person who filmed it, maybe they set them, because look, the FBI should have been and went to those people's house, took footage, all that. Yeah. Yep. Joshua, yep. They probably got the immunity deal for real, because I'm telling you, it's very funny. But no, there was no immunity deal, because the case didn't even proceed. They settled out of court for undisclosed amount, and allegedly Diddy has something to do with that paper. So that's why we're going to get deeper into this, because I think, sometimes these cases, man, we got to let it be known. We got to let it go for real. You say because he didn't turn the footage over to law enforcement. I don't know. But I know more information than I'm claiming to say, because I don't even want to get too in depth. You got all kind of people suing people and all. Like, you just got to be careful what you say online nowadays, because they're looking for any excuse to. But this is public record, and they want to push this away. And that's why I said allegedly about the Diddy situation. But Diddy was doing stuff like that. I'm telling y'all, especially here in LA. But yeah, I'm not gonna be here too long. 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. And I'm probably not gonna make the conversation available to the what is it? I got 2 levels, or really I got 3 levels, but the lower tier levels, if I'm talking about it, I'm not gonna talk about it there. It's gonna be on a higher, because I think, yeah, and plus I need to be mindful of, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Or I might just take it over to Patreon and we just get busy over there, because we could really get busy on Patreon. But overall, it's effed up. And now look, Tiffany Haddish she's back. They ain't nobody even talking about all this no more. They're not talking about the DUIs. Aries Spears is on Vlad TV. Didn't nothing happen. It's crazy. But leave it up to me. We just gonna continue to expose them. That's why just having certain people in certain places is a good thing. Just having high friends in high places is a good thing. Aries Spears also talked about Trump and the Maduro situation just briefly in that last skit. And I wanted to just bring this up. I think there was an article that came out a couple of days ago, and it said what really happened during the detainment, arrest of Maduro, the Venezuelan prime minister, president, etc. It's alleged that, let me just pull that up because I don't want to go off the dome, even though I know about the story. So the alleged right now says that they use sonic weapons to arrest Maduro. You guys know what sonic weapons are? And it's being reported by Fox News and other BBC. They're talking about all this right now. They use microwave weapons. They said witnesses. Oh, it's a Chosheng, a Chinese site, talking about this. An anonymous guard describes soldiers collapsing from alleged direct energy attacks. White House shares post, declines verification. It's not electric, Butler. It's not electric. It's something. Let me get into it. Well, I didn't want to say what it is because at first I had and I told Classic yesterday to look up what it was, but I didn't know that it was a slur to even say it. I called it I'll say like a boy beam, right? But with a G. So that supposedly is a slur. And I'm not trying to offend nobody, so I changed my title just so that I won't offend anybody. But they called it a boy. Y'all can Google boy beam, but use a G instead of a B for the first letter, right? U.S. used sonic weapons to on Venezuela's troops. Report by Leave It claims. The White House secretary. This is what they're saying. A viral story of a man claiming to have witnessed the U.S. operation to capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro states that the U.S. used sonic weapons against him during the mission to incapacitate opposing forces. White House security shared the eyewitness interview on X, encouraging her followers to read the statement. The statement and interview claims to be a guard who was serving at the Caracas military base where the U.S. captured Maduro. We're on guard, but suddenly all of our radar systems shut down without any explanation, the witness said. The next thing we saw were drones, lots of drones, flying over our position. We didn't know how to react. The witness then describes watching roughly 20 U.S. soldiers deploy out of roughly 8 helicopters over the base. They were technologically advanced. Very advanced, the guard said. They didn't look like anything we fought against before. We were hundreds, but we had no chance, he said. They were shooting with such precision and speed, it felt like each soldier was firing 300 rounds per minute. The witness then describes the U.S. deploying some sort of sonic weapon against the Venezuela's forces. At one point, they launched something. I don't know how to describe it, he said. It was like a very intense sound wave. Suddenly, I felt like my head was exploding from inside. We all started bleeding from the nose, he added. Okay, what's going on here? Some were vomiting blood. We all fell to the ground, unable to move. We couldn't even stand up after that sonic weapon or whatever it was. Those 20 men without a single casualty, unalive hundreds of us, the witness claimed. We had no way to compete with their technology, with their weapons. I swear, I never seen anything like it. So the White House didn't immediately respond whether them sharing the post constitute confirmation. The Pentagon also didn't immediately respond when asked if the deployed sonic weapon was used in Venezuela. They said that the military used something and their nose was bleeding. They were vomiting. How many of y'all believe that that's true? Put a 2 if you think what you just heard, that one witness who was part of the Venezuelan military, you believe that was true. Yeah, they supposedly they even, yeah, Josh know, supposedly they did something like this with bin Laden, capturing bin Laden. And I know they have like this certain technology. They've had it since like '04. They also have something to the V2K, voice to skull. They were using that on a lot of the insurgents during the Afghanistan and Iraq war, allegedly. Yeah. And I say all that to say, because you guys know Donald Trump's uncle John was responsible for recovering Tesla's inventions when Tesla passed away back day. He went in and got all the schematics and everything, and whoop, and just look him up. John Trump. That's Donald Trump's uncle, or Trump, I believe. That's they came from Island. They're from there. So he was DRUMPF, and then they changed it to Trump to make it sound more American. Say we use the voice to skull to totally game the Schluminati. Yeah, you say you saw it on the last episode of Stranger Things? Okay, I gotta finish watching Stranger Things. That's what I gotta do. Yeah, I'm just saying that to just let y'all know, we all gotta be aware of certain stuff. You gotta be aware of certain things. I know people are talking about there's war, especially in the United States and then globally. They're talking about this now. Like they're like, oh, something's coming, something's happening. They're talking about China. They're saying that China don't have over 1 billion people. It's closer to 500 million. Somebody lying. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that I just would say deprogram, pull away from, like, certain media outlets that ain't really giving you the game. And then you say you found out where you got that do you gang bang. Yeah, that's there. Yeah. Do your gang bang. I'll be outside with my gang gang. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get more in detail with it. We could talk about these topics throughout the next couple of weeks, just in general. But definitely all this other weaponry that they got going on, and this rumors of war, because that's what it is rumors of war. And then we got this ICE stuff going on, or whatever. ICE in America, ISIS in Nigeria, and in all the other parts. Come on, y'all. All I really could say is don't believe the hype. Don't fall for the bullshit, And yeah, these media outlets, all they're gonna do is, give us a bunch of stuff to have us running in fear. Like Peep Game. They got everybody talking about, okay, well, the dollar, this and that. Don't fall for, look, it's always fiat currency. Don't fall for this trick. I'm gonna say this before I go. Don't fall for this trick, right? Fiat currencies is fiat currencies. Fiat currencies is basically like our dollar bill. Or if you go to the UK, it's the pound. It's it's the fiat. But it's supposed to be backed by something like gold, silver, platinum, resources. Now they got everybody talking about, oh, you got to go get real gold. Oh, you got to go get real silver. This dollar ain't worth blah blah blah. You gonna get, So this is a trick that they run too. And this is elite stuff. This is not just regular people, doing scams. This is not. We're not in Trinidad and the dude over here selling doubles, and then he also selling something else too. This is real scams. So you run around, you got a whole bunch of money, and you have an idea of, oh, they're gonna come. You get paranoid. Thank you, Leilani. You get paranoid, like, They're going to come take our money, or the money's going to be devalued, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go get Bitcoin. I'm going to go get crypto. I'm going to go get bricks of freaking gold. I'm going to be cool. Nah. In the Depression, the Great Depression in the United States, what they did is when people had like gold, like bricks of gold or whatever, they basically made it illegal. People was trying to go get bread with gold, and they made it illegal because the government confiscated everything, all the real gold, all the real silver, all that. The government confiscated that. That's the trick that they run on everybody. They get you to, you know, like don't. All I'm saying is don't be too invested in this system. It's another system coming, and it ain't this one, and it ain't what they trying to tell us. You know, because I remember back in the day they were talking about the dollar's going to go away, and they got this new Amero. They were talking about it was going to be a new currency for all for Canada, Mexico, United States, Central America. The Amero. That was cap. They always run these scams to get people. Yep, money don't mean anything. You're right. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up right now. But yeah, y'all check that. Like, I wouldn't say check out the Aries Spears interview. He's a piece of but the Poetic Flakko thing, that's very interesting. And then go look up what I said, boy beam, but not boy, it's with a G. Goy. And then you know, beam. Look it up. And that's what they're saying that they're using. So you got all this stuff going on with ICE and the ICE agents. If people decide to really turn up, like how we in LA turned up in 1992 and had them LA uprisings, oh, trust and believe they're gonna be having all them little supersonic weapons popping. People be out in the street, and you think it's a plane coming, but it's them using the super. Like they got all kind of tech, y'all. Don't get it twisted. And this is not a game. It's not a joke. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, Classic. If it's going down, I might go do a live over there. I'm actually about to pull up. If you're going to go, let me know. But I'm actually going to pull up right now to go see what's up with this stuff going on downtown. Because, you know, when they had the No King stuff, I was there. I was literally there, man. And I was getting busy. So if y'all want, I may just go do a live downtown LA, real spill. Let's do it. Field trip. Y'all know what it is. Y'all stay tuned. I may do it. I got to go check on some of my folks, but I might just go do that. All right, y'all. I was supposed to make somebody a mod. Hold on. I don't think they're here though. I got to do something with these mod stuff too, y'all, because it's a whole lot of funny things going on in the backdrop. I'll tell y'all about it. That's what I was wondering what was going on yesterday. If y'all saw the live, but anyway, y'all be safe. Y'all be good. I might be going downtown LA again, y'all. We're gonna go on a field trip. All right. Peace.